Well, hello and welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
You are. I can verify that. But could I see some form of ID?
Do you have the authority?
To look at your ID?
And you are?
Yes. I am Michael Mandel. It's right there. I go on cue. I'm on cue.
Well, there's my ID right there.
Oh, there you are.
Right
and this
there.
table is called Double Talk.
We are on Double Talk on Channel 98, Comcast, Las Cruces. Now, you know, have you been to Luna Rossa winery?
Yes, I have, by the way.
On Avenida de Mesilla, pretty much across the street from the Harley Davidson place. I went there Tuesday around lunchtime. I had ordered a pizza to pick up.
You eat a late lunch, huh?
They have great
Evening
pizzas. No, I had a 1 o'clock lunch at somebody's house in Mesilla. So I stopped to pick up a pizza. Now they're doing construction on Avenida de Mesilla, right in front of Luna Rossa.
How dare they?
It was impossible to drive into Luna Rossa. There was no way you could do it.
So are we talking about Luna Rossa or the entire amount of traffic that happens when you start to reconstructing? Because there's traffic, if there's traffic there's traffic on the other side of the bridge, right? How does Harley Davidson get in business?
This is the other side of the bridge. This is on the Mesilla side of the Interstate 20, the Interstate 10 bridge.
So what are you saying? That you had too much trouble to get to Luna Rossa, so you had to go to that guy, the real Lorenzo's, to pick up a pizza?
No, actually, I had already ordered the pizza from Luna Rossa, so I had to get it. So as I approached, it was across the street to my left. There was no way I could turn left because there was construction, roadside vehicles. I had to go down a little bit, make a U-turn, and drive between
you poor baby.
the paving machine and a front loader as I drove through them with inches to spare and guys yelling at me. I did it anyway, and I finally turned into where Luna Rossa is. Went in, picked up the pizza, and I talked to them in there. And they were telling me it's been 2 weeks like this now. They were guaranteed access to the business, and for the last 2 weeks they've barely had it.
Well,
their business is off.
They were guaranteed
90%.
access. Oh, really? That's a lot of...
yes, and now to get back, I was headed toward Mesilla. No, when you come out of there, you cannot turn left because the line of cars heading east is about a quarter of a mile long. So you have to just turn right. I had to go all the way to Valley Drive to get to Mesilla.
So you're not from New York, are you? Because in New York, you beep your horn and you just cut in. That's all you got to do. You just beep your horn, you get in there. Do you have a loud horn? You should just double the amperage, beep that horn. Everybody gets out of your way because they think something's happening. That's how you do it. You guys around here, you just can't take traffic. Beep that horn.
Well, I did what I had to do and I got it done. But
your pizza was cold.
It was cold by the time we got there. Yes, of course it was.
Well,
but the salad was cold too. We just had a cold lunch. That was fun.
The salad was cold too?
Well, I took salad.
What, did you want warm salad?
No, I didn't want warm salad. So everything was cold.
Well, the truck store in those places just finished with their...
Yes, Alameda is now open.
I know, but that's been like over a year.
Yes.
Over a year. This hopefully is a federal job. It's got to be federal because it's because of the highway.
They're replacing the interstate bridge and they're redoing the interstate, the interchange there for the Interstate 10.
It's amazing how much equipment they have. They have a crane holding this machine that paves or puts down concrete. The crane's holding it up. It's amazing.
And Thursday night, the Avenida de Mesilla was shut down completely.
Well, who wants to go to Mesilla? You know, there's only like 800 people who live there anyway.
Well, my advice to everybody is avoid Mesilla at all costs. Do not go to Mesilla. It's one of those smart little speed trap towns. Don't even go there.
What about if you're an immigrant? Should you go there?
No, you should not go there.
Well, you could go there if you're an immigrant because the Mesilla cops are no longer going to
arrest you,
pull you over on suspicion that you might look like an immigrant. And in fact, they had that rule for the last 3 years.
Yes, but the Mesilla cops have been pulling people over. They think they work for Homeland Security because they got a $150,000 grant from Homeland Security, which helped buy them a cop car and some other equipment. Right. So now they think they're working for Homeland Security. Well, you're not. You're working in a little podunk. This is where law enforcement people go to die. Okay, they brought the marshal back. Who used to be the marshal there.
Yeah,
and they brought him back because nobody else wanted the job who was qualified. The previous marshal they had there was a convicted felon, who I take that back. Two marshals back.
Two marshals. We're not convicted.
The previous marshal quit the job to become an investigator with the DA's department. But before that, he got in trouble for other things. But the previous marshal before him was a convicted felon.
Yeah.
And somehow he was allowed to be the Messiah Marshal anyway. Now, I thought if you're a convicted felon, you couldn't possess a handgun or any weapons. But he was allowed to as the Messiah Marshal, despite the fact
Wasn't
that
he
he
a
was
felon
convicted
after he was a marshal?
No.
See, there's a very fine line between being a policeman and a felon.
That's true.
That's which side of the...
And around here, they're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, that fine line is gone. It's not a thin blue line anymore.
Then he got fired because he got a DWI. It became the police chief in Columbus, New Mexico, where he got caught selling guns to the Mexicans. So now I guess he's headed to federal prison where he belongs.
Is that what we were talking about? The fact that I thought you were talking about, in fact, the fact that they're not arresting. They're
not arresting.
Stopping people who might look like immigrants.
Who may or may not be here illegally.
Messiah is a perfect place because it's supposed to be like the old days when everybody was an immigrant, right?
Well, this used to be Mexico, so it's not that the immigrants crossed the border crossed them.
I know, what a trick. That's pretty good. So the immigrants, I understand there's going to be an old Orthodox Jewish section in Messiah to make it look more like the old days.
Yeah. Well, they used to have the crypto Jews in Messiah, in southern Mexico.
People are still crypto Jews. I mean, you're a crypto Jew if you actually were Jewish, and your lots of great ancestors converted.
Well,
and you still keep some of the traditions.
Well, the original crypto Jews came from Spain. They were Jewish.
Yeah.
They came here.
They get away from Spain.
Go over there, Jews weren't allowed. They'd burn them at the stake.
Well, it was the Inquisition.
Right.
If you didn't,
right. The Catholics would just burn them alive because they were Jews.
So they were hiding. Yes.
Yeah. So now they came over here. They still had to be crypto because they're in a Catholic environment.
They didn't know who was going to tell them.
They didn't want to get burned alive because that's how the Christians or the Catholics did it back then.
So if anybody in Messiah or actually in the New World, I think if you have a name that sounds like the name of an animal or has
a name like a platypus,
like Aguilar.
Aguilar. What's that?
Eagle.
Oh, that's eagle.
That's considered, could be Jewish. I think there's a special I think if you have a place name as that does make sense. Because everybody would have...
Lopez-Witz. Lopez-Witz?
Yeah. Diaz-Witz. Those people, So there you might have a suspicion. If you... were forced to be circumcised, even though you were a Catholic and didn't go through the hospital, you may be crypto. That should be a new show. If you think this, you may be crypto. If you have a penchant for soup made out of cold beets and eating it with a flatbread on the turning of the season into spring, you may be crypto. Things like that. If you light candles on Friday nights.
Or if you're willing to eat the things he just said, you may be just starving.
If you see a piece of gefilte fish and start to salivate, you may be crypto. That's how you do it. Yes. But don't look at me and start to salivate.
Wait a minute, you eat that?
I do.
Are you crypto?
No, I'm real. I mean,
crypto
means...
You're out of the closet.
I'm out of the closet, yes. Oh, wait, that was a story later on.
But
be out of the closet. Anyway.
Okay.
So you're okay.
So immigrants, if you're an illegal immigrant in Messiah, you don't have to worry about the Messiah cops supposedly not harassing you. But he did say, well, if that becomes an issue, we turn them over to the Border Patrol.
Which means that you're taking.
Which means you're still in jeopardy.
It means that they're an agent of the Border Patrol.
Right. So they all think they work for the federal government. They're federal agents, they think, because they got $150,000 from federal money.
But is this why you dyed your hair so you don't want to look so Hispanic?
Yes.
Is that why you got your blonde buff
I used to be an albino, and I've darkened it.
Ah, yes. I can see your line by the whites that are not in your eyes.
So, anyway,
we're going to go on to the next topic so that we can get into an argument.
Now
because
you smoke, right?
Never.
Oh, you don't smoke cigarettes?
I've never smoked cigarettes. That's ridiculous.
Oh, okay.
It's just unnecessary.
Well, but you...
And I can't light matches. I don't know how to light matches.
Well, if you go to the bathroom, you should. But you are involved in education.
I are.
You are.
Yes,
and so you might be hip to this cigarette tax that's being proposed.
I'm hip.
By Arnie Duncan, who's the Secretary of Education.
You're good friends with him? You call him Arnie?
Arnie, that's his name.
You don't call him Arnoldo or something?
No, he's Arnie.
Okay.
Arnie Duncan, and he's proposing a cigarette tax to pay for early child education. What do you think
Starting
about
at 4 years old. I think it's great because they're doing something good, and they're using sin tax, S-I-N, not
S-I-N.
S-Y-N
Yes.
tax.
So they're going to charge $1 more for a pack of cigarettes.
Yes, and what I'm glad of is that it's for cigarettes and not for alcohol. I don't want to say that I'm
Alcohol's next, Michael. If they're going to charge cigarettes
there's
tax,
already lots
what's
of,
next?
Well, actually, there's tons of tax on cigarettes. I mean, I don't think it approaches.
There's tons of tax on booze.
There's not that much tax on booze, not to compare to cigarettes. Cigarettes are like, I don't even know how much, $6 a pack. It takes 20 cents to make a cigarette because really it's made out of weeds, the old type of weeds, tobacco weeds.
Tobacco leaves.
Leaves, but which is a weed,
And then it's
just as the other weed.
and then it's combined with drugs that
That's-
get you hooked on it.
That's true,
And
the
it's for
extra
addicts.
nicotine.
Most cigarette people who smoke are drug addicts.
But there you have another source of income. Those of you who think we should make more money from taxes, once weed, the real thing that we call weed, becomes legal, then you tax it. And once you tax it, then you make it $6 a pack. I bet many people will buy it.
Well, instead of upping the cigarettes tax, why not,
Open up
tax
the weed.
marijuana, make that legal the way our neighbor to the north, Colorado, has done, and our neighbor
Washington, right?
Washington State has done, and tax that. You make a lot of money.
It's an idea. It's too controversial. We can't
it's
even
not.
get. It's always controversial
says?
because we have an inbred sensibility of conservative people in this country where they're against things like stuff that people are already doing. They probably don't even like alcohol to be legal. Some people.
Well, if
Some people,
if you're
people have been
conservative,
doing
you don't
this.
want alcohol to be legal.
You don't want alcohol to be legal. You don't want cigarettes to be legal.
You don't want sex to be legal.
No, sex shouldn't be legal.
No.
No, because it's more exciting when it's illegal.
Well, the same with all the sins we
Syntax.
do, right?
But that's right. That's why I drink,
Why?
because it's illegal.
You pretend
it
it's
could be
illegal.
illegal. Yes.
Pretend it's illegal.
That's why I particularly am now fascinated by gin, because bathtub gin type thing, all that cachet of prohibition. When it was really illegal.
Well, the other things are illegal, like cursing over the airwaves.
Is
That's
cursing
illegal.
over the airways illegal?
Well, it can be. You can get in big trouble by the FCC if you do it on nationwide television.
Yes, you could.
The other night at the Aggie game, when the Aggies were playing Minnesota.
These are the NMSU Aggies, because there's
Aggies
so many people call it
football team.
Aggies. What happened?
Before the game started, everybody was told, now we have to behave ourselves. We can't shout obscenities. We must not degrade the team. We all have to comport ourselves in a professional and adult manner.
I love comporting.
And then they put on this Fort Minor, by
Song.
a group called Fort Minor, a rap song that contained the F-bomb many, many times.
But it's a good song. We're going to play it now. It's been cleaned up, and you know what? When we got it, it didn't need to be cleaned up. It already was cleaned up.
Oh, I see. What is Fort Minor? Who is Fort Minor? What do
Fort
they look
Minor
like?
is Fort Minor is the name of the group. There's a guy named Mike who's the head of it, but there's 4 guys in it.
I see.
And do we hear it? I don't know. I can't hear it in here. But
Let's see the Fort Minor.
what was interesting about this is whoever worked for the Aggies got the obscene version of the song and played it, and it drops the F-bomb probably about 10 lines in, and it says it a few times later. But if you go online, want to download the stuff, it doesn't come out with those words. So it's almost automatically cleaned up if you get it from the right place. Somebody was either thinking maybe we'll sneak it in on these unwitting people who probably don't even listen to lyrics, or maybe they just were inspired by the song. The song is pretty inspirational.
Well, it's got a good beat to it, but I don't.
Talks about the winning is 10% luck, 50% sweat, stuff like that.
They probably meant to
Stuff
put
like that.
the censored version on, and the wrong one came up.
Yes, the censored version. What is that? Who is?
But I'm sure
So,
that they didn't realize what they were doing, and I'm sure
I'm
they're
sure
not there
they were
anymore.
spanked. Is spanking still okay in the
No, that's corporal punishment.
You can't
do
spank
that.
people anymore? I think if we had some spanking, things would go out smoother.
Bring back spanking. It's a good conservative thing to do.
So I think it's almost time for us to take a break. If I saw the time, I know, but we
Yes,
should
it
take
is.
a break.
And we'll be right back after these words.
I'll spank you
Won't we?
first. I'll spank you first. Okay?
Can I go
Or
first?
you want to go? You want to spank me first?
No, let me go first. I want to know how to do it. Show
Oh,
me how
I'll
to do
spank
it.
you first. Well, let's.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna get on my. Okay, here we go. Wait, my right hand's the better one. Okay, here we go. Wham,
Hang on.
wham,
Wait a
wham.
minute, I'm not ready yet.
You
Start
know.
over.
Oh,
Come in throughout the day for Jazzercise, the world's dance fitness leader for nearly 40 years. Treat yourself to a relaxing massage, or unwind in the lounge area or outside on the balcony with friends. La Buena Vida Women's Club, located and designed with women in mind. For information, call Diane at 650-9721.
Hey, you, come here. Do you want to know the news? The Lost Cruises channel is now on 7 days a week. So keep it right here.
Celebrate, celebrate, Fiesta Motors.
Come and see us today and discover why our service is second to none. In business for over 17 years, we have the right car for you. When you buy a vehicle from Fiesta Motors, we do everything possible to ensure your satisfaction. Located at the corner of El Paseo and Main. See you there.
Celebrate, Fiesta Motors, where buying a car is always a celebration.
Welcome back to Double Talk,
oh, I
folks.
think I'm
What
red
do
on
you-
the bottom.
Hey, how was that?
Yeah, that was pretty exciting. You know, I think my bottom matches my shirt.
All right. Now that we've both had a good spanking
That was
that we
exciting.
richly deserved.
We do.
Wham! Oh my God, you missed.
Not good at that. We're going to skip over the Santa Teresa Country Club thing. You want to do that?
Oh, we, you know,
You know, it's
how do
it's
we-
like a Fort Minor because you want to talk about I don't know,
we were talking. Well, you know, the Santa Teresa Country Club is
so
it's in the
dilapidated.
hands of the receivers right now. It's up for auction because they owe so much. How much money do they owe?
About
from taxes?
675,000, 76,000. Somebody came in on, I guess it was Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday, offered 20,000 for all three properties that owe $675,000 worth of tax.
And they didn't get it.
They didn't get it because they'll never see their money again.
There was a minimum
On the other hand,
bid.
yeah, but you have a quandary there too, because if it doesn't get sold, nobody pays tax afterwards either. But if they lose the 675, then somebody starts paying taxes, and
Well, some guy did buy a small parcel there for a few $1,000s, and so he'll start paying property tax.
there's a bunch of things going on with that because we think, and I think the reason is that they might have sold their water rights. If you don't have water rights and you have a golf course,
What good is the golf course?
unless you want to just do a dune buggy track, that's about it.
We're going to have another auction.
Yes, in October. Those of you who can come up with 675,000, go ahead, put it in. You get that great building, and
We'll throw
I
the
would
sign in
bet
for
the
free.
sign is for free, and then you can hang yourself because you made such a ridiculous
Ridiculous,
purchase.
Yes.
That tree looks pretty
too
good.
bad because you know they had two golf courses there.
Two golf courses, a golf clubhouse, and the guy who
Restaurant.
was running it, the guy who's running it also was supposed to take care of the houses that were part of that. So the streets are all getting chopped up. Anyway,
So anyway, it's enough to make you.
you know, they need some
make your health turn bad.
or they need affordable care on that. And the way to get affordable care is through what is more disaffectionately known as Obamacare, which I'm all for.
The Affordable Health Care Act.
Yes, it's affordable. If everybody pays for health care, then it's more evenly spread amongst us. The people who don't pay end up getting free health care because they go into emergency rooms.
Right, and well, that's what you always hear on Fox News. Well, if the poor don't have health care, they can always go to the emergency room.
Which costs.
The emergency room is the most expensive health care there is, and that doesn't help a person who has cancer or mental health issues or Parkinson's disease. You don't go to the ER for that.
Or a cut off finger.
You need the Affordable
cut-off
Health
finger,
Care
you would
Act
go there.
to go to an extended care doctor to take care of your problems.
It is probably not. They say, well, the book is this big.
Yeah, 1,400
Our
pages.
producer, you don't need to know. I mean, a lot of people here, cite the Bible, but they never read the whole thing. It's probably about 1,400 pages too. Why don't they read the Obamacare book?
Well, they never read the Patriot Act either, but they passed that. That never stops them.
Yeah, we do it. People do what they want. You can get affordable health care. There is a little course, a little thing that's going to be helping you learn about it. Where's that going to take
Well,
place?
it's going to be that is going to be at the Brannigan Library downtown several times through October. From now through October at the Brannigan Library, there's a number you can call, and that number is 528-4024. That's 528-4024. That's the number at Brannigan Library to find out about the
That's your number.
Affordable Health Care Act and the
if you wanna get
information.
information.
They're going to give you information about it.
It'll be fine as long as the Congress doesn't take steps to disfund it because they want to get the military going. We have enough money. They want to be able to fund the military. So to go and bomb other countries, they're going to take money away from our own health care, from our citizens, to go and hurt citizens in other countries. Why should we pay for that when we should be paying for health
Our
care
own
in this
people.
country?
Right.
Tell me that.
Well, not only that, we should be paying for the veterans who've already been damaged in war,
Which we don't take care of at
which
all.
we're sadly negligent at.
Oh, are we getting some
only that.
controversy from the control room here? I don't know. I'm hearing
Well, no, veterans are being, if you watch the TV ads, please contribute to help our veterans.
In the mail, you get all those things for the wounded warriors.
They were
There are warriors.
promised health care when they went to war, and they're not getting it now.
They should be
Why
getting
now
that
are we supposed to pick up the tab that the government's not?
because
paying for?
the people who are making munitions are contributing more to certain elements than the people who are giving medical care. The doctors think affordable health care is going to be bad because they might get slightly less of income.
But they get more patients, though.
They always get enough money.
They have more patients at maybe a slightly lesser cost.
Perhaps
Everybody
they might not be able
benefits.
to afford Lamborghinis, but certainly they'll be able to afford Ferraris. So I don't know which one costs more. I'm guessing Lamborghinis. You see more
Actually, I think a
Ferraris.
Ferrari costs more. But
You think a Lamborghini? Anyway. See, which one do you have?
I
guess you've been pricing them recently.
I drive the Lotus.
The Lotus. Those are nice. Good handling, huh?
Yeah, they are.
Unless you hit a speed bump.
Now,
What else?
Our county clerk, Lynn Ellens.
Yes.
He's been doing authorizing gay marriages in Oneida County.
How is that possible?
And after he started
I'm
the trend,
aghast.
it picked up, and now other counties around the state of New Mexico are doing it, much to the consternation of the uptight and the haters.
So people are writing in to the local paper as well as doing other things. You
Sure
see
they
that
are.
all over the place. It's on Facebook. Half of Facebook is against people being gay. People are gay. I mean, I don't think there's any question of whether or not people are gay. They're not doing to piss off their parents.
Well, they don't choose to be that way.
They're gay. Let them marry who they want to marry.
Well, there was a fellow who wrote into the newspaper named J.D. Rodriguez who's saying that, it's a lifestyle choice, which we know it is not. And
Wait,
that
because you just want to wear frilly clothes. I don't wear
Yes.
frilly clothes, do I?
he's saying it's against God's law. Well, if God made them, then why is it against God's law?
If God allowed there to be gays, then he obviously sanctioned them. The same as God also in the Bible allowed people to marry multiple women.
That's true. Now, he says
Why
that
would we believe that?
this fellow J.D.
thing from
Rodriguez
the
says,
Bible?
well, you don't see it in other species such as birds. Well, actually, you do. They found homosexual activity among seagulls,
As
and
well as mice.
mice, and numerous other species in the wild. Well, a certain amount naturally display homosexual behavior.
You know who are naturally homosexual? One of the most primal things, amoeba.
That's true. They're bisexual, right? They're going
Well, there you go.
right? And he says it's all a matter of numbers. If enough of these homosexuals get together, why, they're going to get their way. Well, there's only about 10% of the
Right.
American population are homosexual, and he calls them deviants.
Yes, and we've always had homosexuals in culture. Many cultures were very restrictive and
Right.
didn't allow it.
And so if 10% of Americans are homosexual and they're deviants, you look, 13% of Americans are
Something
blacks. Are they deviants too?
And 20% are Hispanics. They must be deviants because there's only 20%.
I don't know.
So
But
there you go.
Another
And their culture, they shouldn't have their culture.
well, that's true.
Whatever that is.
Another deviant thing that happened is
Yes, what else?
the state of Iowa is granting gun carry permits for the blind.
I believe in that because
You do?
Iowa has far too many people. And a blind person with a gun can feel more secure.
Well, blind people have been allowed to own guns like everybody else, and now because of the laws for handicapped people that should be extended to all areas, they're now being extended to those who want to carry and possess and even fire guns in self-defense.
So,
Now, are they allowed to drive cars?
yeah, because they
Are
have
they?
the same rights as everybody else. Here's the thing, everybody's all pissed at the stand your ground law in
Yes.
Florida. Well, this is going to make another law, which is the defense of blind people. I heard a noise.
I'm sorry.
I heard a
I
noise.
meant to shoot you.
I
not
heard
you.
a noise defense. Well, I heard a noise. I shot at it. There's a blind guy that doesn't even know he doesn't have a gun in his hand.
You see, I think there's problems with this law.
I think so too. Let's keep going because
Now-
we want to talk about fun things.
Well, I understand the Beverly Hills Cantina is opening. It'll only be open from Thursday to Sunday,
3 to 11.
or on days when there's games.
On gays when there's
Yeah,
dames.
gays.
Gays, there's
On
no
gays-
dames on gays.
gay games.
That would not make them gay.
No.
Beverly Hills Cantina usually was a
Party place.
yeah, you'd
can
have
rent
to
it out for
rent it to be
receptions.
catered.
It's a
But
one-
now they're going to be open. They have mixed drinks, beer
mixed-
and wine.
Too bad there's no food, but they're at 150
They
North
said there wasn't
Hermosa,
any food. There might be food. We have
right
to
off of
find
Briggs
out.
Street. Who knows about a
Happy hour, you know.
Everybody's happy at that
Yes.
hour.
What else is happening? We have to keep,
Coming to town this weekend, a road show engagement of a Tony Award-winning Best Play performance, Vanya, Sonia, Masha, and Spike at the Rio Grande Theater tonight.
by the
at 8 o'clock.
Fusion.
Tonight at the Rio
Theater
Grande
group.
Fusion Theater, and also tomorrow, Sunday at 2 o'clock. I hope.
We're going to finish with some more theater things.
Well, Rockin' Beezy's Burger has opened on Loman.
Yes, where Lorenzo's used to be.
Oh, there's more
then
theater
burgers.
going on in town right now too.
The other stuff in theater is The Wager is playing
Rio Grande
tonight,
Theater final weekend.
and the Greater
Greater
Tuna
Tuna
is
at
still
the Black Box
playing,
Theater.
and it will be playing next week in Deming.
But they're gonna be here too.
They're going to be here this
Extended
weekend.
next week here.
This is their last weekend. And next weekend or next week, they will be playing, I think, from Thursday to probably Saturday in Deming. Those of you who get Comcast in Deming, pay attention to that. It should be fun. It's the same cast. Everything's the same. So I think we're almost out
We're
of
out of
here.
time.
And go see a lot of theater.
Why not? And tell us how you like BZ's. But apparently M5 is having problems over there with their
Yes, but we don't have
services.
time to talk about that.
We don't have
I
time to talk
love
about that.
M5. I
We'll
still
talk about
love
that next
M5.
week.
Still my favorite. One of my favorites.
Thanks for
M5.
joining us. We'll be here next week right here on Double Talk.